Welcome everyone to Guy and Helmer Unfiltered but Kind of Filtered, the first official spin-off show from the League of Cinephiles. I'm your host as always, Alex Helmer. With me is the most loved or hated member of the League of Cinephiles. Hopefully he's more loved. Guy Knoll. Guy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So I've been doing great. Like I said, this is our first spin-off show from League of Cinephiles. We're going to bring you our live kind of reactions on this movie news, trailers, stuff like that in the world of what we all love in the League of Cinephiles, obviously, movies. So we're going to bring you that, again, live Sunday mornings with our coffees ready, And, Guy, again, how's your week been going before we get into the more movie-related stuff? You've been doing good over the last week?
I've been doing very well, very well.
Good.
I usually wake up at a 2 p.m. average, I don't get around much, but I've been doing pretty good. I mean, there's been not a lot going on. I started cooking again, which was a lot of fun.
Jesus.
Yes, and what else did I do? I bought. It's not very. I bought a book by Mel Brooks. He just said
Exciting stuff.
It's very exciting stuff. Now, Alex, how is your chip injury?
Yes. I'm going to go into an anecdote before we get to the fun stuff. Guy knows this story all too well, but for those who don't know, basically I was scheduling on doing about 2 shows earlier this week, right? And I was going to do them. I was scheduling them. I was going to ask some of the League of Cinephiles members, I was going to ask them if they were available. But then I had a work-related injury. So for those who don't know, I work part-time at a restaurant here in DC. And so we have a mask mandate here in DC, so we have to wear our masks inside. And so as anyone would at a restaurant, I got really hungry, right? So I decided, I'm going to eat a chip. I'm going to eat a chip. So I ate a chip, and then I put my mask back on. And because my mask was on and I couldn't extend my jaw to its full extent, I cut myself. I cut my mouth. And it wiped me out. Next couple of days, even yesterday, when I thought it was fine, I would extend my jaw and be like, oh God, it still hurts. And I couldn't talk. I literally legitimately couldn't talk. Right. And then I was in Boston for a couple of days, like I told Guy. And then I went to this great pizza place, right? And so like the idiot I am, I was really hungry though. I went in and dived for the pizza right away. It was great. It's a really great pizza place, by the way, but I dived in right away and it was really hot. It just came out of the oven. So it was really, really hot. And so I burned the top of my mouth. So the top of my mouth was medium rare. The bottom of my mouth was sliced open. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't talk. I couldn't do the shows that we were planning. It's a lot more serious than it sounds, chip related injuries. That isn't a legitimate thing that people should, look out for. Those watching right now, Guy as well. Just watch out for that. When you're eating a chip, just realize, I should be
drunk driving, get out of the way. Because you got fucking
chips.
Chip cut. That's so much worse.
Not just chip cut, paired with burning the top of my mouth. It's like the combo. It's a combo. So So yeah. But otherwise, my week has been doing good so far. As you can tell, I'm wearing a light color. I'm not wearing a really dark color. I'm not wearing my glasses either. I have some my good old hat behind me, but I'm not wearing it because I don't deserve it. But yeah, this is a fun day. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff. And so I think this is an occasion where I don't have to be all, doom and gloom. So yeah, what do you say we get into this movie news right away?
Let's do this.
So we're going to have about 3 kind of segments within the show that we're going to, by virtue of how we're going to be bringing you guys the news. And so the first one is going to be just basically what's new, kind of the new releases in the world of movies and TV. So the new releases that came out this week specifically, this weekend, number 1, I actually saw it yesterday, is Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds, obviously. The latest kind of big blockbuster distributed by Disney and Fox. When I saw it, it played the Fox logo, not the Disney. They played the Fox intro, not the Disney thing. So I don't know how that whole distribution process worked out. But yeah, it's the latest blockbuster Saw it yesterday. Guy, have you been anticipating it? Just curious.
I mean, personally, I have not been that hyped for this movie.
Hmm.
I just, I don't
No, it's
know.
fair.
It's something I have low expectations for, but I've heard great things. So hopefully, when I go see it with my extremely low, like hell low, like below ground low expectations, it'll spark them way up. So I'm hopeful for that.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll just get to my. It's a good movie. It's actually a really good movie. Like you, I was not anticipating this movie at all. I thought actually thought the marketing was quite good. Like I
Yeah.
saw a trailer. I don't remember what movie I saw this trailer for, but it was like a trailer for like a. Actually, no, I'm not going to get into it because it's a spoiler. But let me just say the marketing for the movie was good, although some of the trailers didn't work for me. The movie's actually quite good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's amazing. I'm not going to say it's best picture rating, but it's a good movie. Ryan Reynolds is fantastic. I thought I would see Deadpool all the time and I would have trouble not seeing him as Deadpool. It's not the case at all. I did not see Deadpool once. I saw him as this character Guy for the entirety of the movie. He's legitimately great in this movie. The visuals are great. The script is pretty good. There are a lot of moments comedy wise that don't work. A lot of them that do work. Taika Waititi, didn't love him in the film. He was the villain. Wasn't in love with him. It was directed by a guy who produced Stranger Things. So Joe Keery, who played Steve in Stranger Things, was in the film. He was quite good. And then another guy, who's like a minor character in Stranger Things, was in it. So, but yeah, it's a good movie. It's being well received so far. 62 on Metacritic, so it's in the green, and 7.77 on Rotten Tomatoes. I believe 7.7 on IMDb. So it's being received quite well. And what was I going to say? And also, I think this is important that it's getting received well. And the reason I think it's important is because a lot of people, at least in the cinephile, like not not people who aren't as big into movies as we are, but like the cinephile community.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, I guess I hear complaints about the fact that Disney doesn't distribute enough original movies. And so this is an original movie. It's original content. And so that's why I think they specifically need to see it. It's because of people like that who are, complaining about the lack of original content that Disney produces movie-wise, like with all these remakes and stuff. They need to see this movie just because of the hypocrisy that it would create if they don't see it. But exactly. Guy, any final thoughts on this movie before we move on to the next release?
No, I mean, I was aware that it was original, and I think that is true. People do have like this weird complaint towards Disney because like of their Marvel, their Star Wars, and their remakes. Watch this film so that then I can talk about it with you when I watch it.
Luke Reviews put in the chat, Free Guy getting a sequel is the ultimate irony from Disney. I'm actually really happy it's getting a sequel. I think it deserves a sequel. And yeah, it's ironic, but I feel like, it deserves a sequel. So, and then let's get to the next movie. You can introduce it, is Respect, starring Jennifer Hudson, about the late, great Aretha Franklin. Guy, I know you haven't seen the film yet. I haven't either. But are you hyped for this film?
I am excited about this. This has got a good cast.
Okay,
and
interesting.
I think this could be very good. I am excited about Respect.
I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm not. Jennifer Hudson was getting like a bit of Oscar buzz. I think that's going to disappear soon, especially because the movie came out in August. It's a bio. I didn't hate the trailers. I thought they were fine. But the movie is like a 62 on Metacritic, 6 point something on IMDb. So it's like being received as average as you can get. Like it'll be fine probably. I'm just not going to waste my time with it. Next one is Don't Breathe 2.
You've killed my enjoyment again, Alex.
Yeah, of course. Next one is going to be Don't Breathe 2, the sequel to Don't Breathe, which is a good little horror movie that came out a couple of years ago with Stephen Lang. I did not see this film either because the trailer, it made me not want to see the sequel. If you haven't seen the original is basically about this blind guy who's like a horror movie villain. And in the sequel, they make him out to be kind of like an anti-hero protagonist that's like protecting his daughter. I didn't see it for that reason because they kind of changed things up. And it's weird because it's written by the same guy who directed the first movie. So it's not like it's like different behind the scenes crew. So not seeing this one. 2 more releases, 9 Days in Coda. These are two kind of indie releases. Coda released on Apple TV, and then 9 Days was released in the festival circuit months ago, and now it's released in theaters, at least here. Are you aware of any of these movies, Guy? I know they're kind of smaller, but
No.
no? Okay. So Coda is getting some Oscar buzz. I actually predicted it in my early Best Picture rankings. Not anymore. I don't think it'll get in there just because there is now a lack of buzz for it. I'm not hearing anything about it. 70 something on Metacritic, which isn't good enough for a small movie like this to excel it to Best Picture nominee level. But I've heard great things about the lead actress in it. I'm definitely going to see it. A lot of people love it. So hopefully I will as well. I'll go see it. 9 Days as well. For those who don't know, 9 Days is about, it's an interesting premise. It's about this guy who interviews souls who want to be like actual people, if that makes sense. Like he's interviewing human souls and he's interviewing them for like to grant them life, basically. And so it's an interesting premise. I'm excited for it. So now let's go to the more exciting new releases, the TV shows. 2 TV shows. Those in the chat. We've been this will be the fun conversation. The really, really opinionated conversation we're gonna have today. The most opinionated. So What If came out on Friday.
What if it was good? No.
You want to start off?
It's garbage. It's awful. I'm sorry. That was it was very bad. It was like, at least to me, it was too fast for me, and it was annoying. Like there are certain voices that were irritating and annoying, and I just didn't enjoy this the way I wanted to. Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher, fantastic pick.
The 2
lines he had, fantastic, really good. But it's just not good. It's you're watching it, and it's not like something's off in a good way, the way it should have been. It's something off, and this is not very good. This is not great. Animation's pretty, but it's not helping it.
I don't think I hated it as much as you did. My reaction to it was just after I watched it, I was like, okay, that's like a thing that exists. I don't think anybody cares at all about. I haven't heard any great things about this, and it's weird because Hot Toys. If those who don't, I know you know.
I know they're
Toys,
making like.
They made like a. Those who don't know, Hot Toys is like a really high quality like brand, like a toy brand, figure. Like action figures. They created one for what are they?
Captain Carter.
Steve and Captain Carter, and I have no idea why. It's fine. It's fine. Actually, no, it's probably below average. I forgot about it immediately after I saw it. They're obviously kind of teasing some stuff for the multiverse, but I thought it was just,
Yeah.
It was, Yeah.
Not great. I didn't think so.
No. And then let's go to the Bad Batch finale now. I have kept up with the Bad Batch. My relationship has not really been on it. It's kind of on and off, but more off. Guy, I know you've had some thoughts on the Bad Batch.
I've been abused by the Bad Batch, Alex. It's not fun. It's like I keep coming back because I'm like, ugh, I can't take it anymore. Cad Bane, ugh, I can't take it anymore. Captain Rex. So I'm like sitting there, and it's but then there's this finale, which has those characters are not spoiled, but it's not. I mean, it's interesting. I like that the way they chose to go with it with Camino and everything. So I mean, I think that was a good choice for their finale. I don't really want to get too descriptive, but what did you think?
I honestly, the show was a disappointment. It was. I don't like the Omega character. I think Hunter is incredibly bland. I hate Hunter a lot. I'm not hearing that. Most people like Hunter. I don't. I think he's awful. I really do. I think he's an incredibly Mary Sue protagonist. Like he's literally the most perfect character you can get. He's so boring. He's like a carbon copy of Rex.
Of course.
I hate the character.
And I mean
I wish he died when Cad Bane shot him. I thought he died in that moment. I'm like, yes, he didn't just die. But he got killed by one of my favorite Star Wars characters. And then he survived. I was like,
the one thing is yeah, this is created by the same people who made Clone Wars, but here's the difference. Before Clone Wars, you had a really bad character of Anakin Skywalker. It wasn't well written. It wasn't written very well in the beginning. So they had a lot of ways to upgrade this character and make this character more human and change him up. Even with Obi-Wan Kenobi to some degree, although Ewan McGregor did an excellent job. But these characters are totally brand new. We've never really seen that. We saw him in the last season of Clone Wars, and that was a good episode. But I honestly feel like these are characters I would not have thought would be a good choice to focus a TV show on.
Yeah. In the finale, it didn't even seem like a finale. Like the pace, like the story was weird. It was like them trying to escape. Spoilers for part 1 finale. They were trying to escape the remnants of Camino, and it was like sinking in the water. It was kind of slow paced for a finale. The end reveal I thought was kind of lame, and the way Star Wars is kind of spoilers. The Star Wars, I guess the TV shows are trying to build spoilers for the end of Bad Batch and the Mandalorian.
They're filling in the blanks
for like the Snoke cloning thing. I just don't care. I don't care. Rise of Skywalker ruined Snoke for me. I actually like that he was killed off in The Last Jedi, but
it was an interesting
Rise of
choice.
Skywalker. If they're gonna tell me in the Rise of Skywalker within the first 5 minutes that he was a clone, and then expect me not to care about it, why would you then try to make me care about it in two other TV shows? I just don't care. I mean, but just some actual good news about Bad Batch and What If. Bad Batch, something. The Clone Wars, the first season of the Clone Wars wasn't very good. The first, actually, I'd say 2 seasons of Clone Wars weren't good. It got much better around 3, 4, 5.
They had some strong episodes in season 2.
Yeah,
though.
And so season 1 was not great. And so that's some good news about the Bad Batch, because the Clone Wars got off to a bad start as well. So maybe season 2 of the Bad Batch is better. I'm kind of pissed off that it was renewed, because now I have to watch it. I love Star Wars, so I can't not watch it. So I mean, I mean, because the difference between Star Wars and a Marvel is that Marvel's like a multiverse. Star Wars is one universe. And you have to follow every little thing about Star Wars, and it drives you nuts, but you have to. Exactly. You're right.
One episode that was great of the Bad Batch, at least to me, because this was an episode with so much stakes, because we like this character, Cad Bane. The Cad Bane episode where he's fighting Fennec Shan was so badass, and it was great.
No,
because
that scene. Sorry to cut you off. That scene, straight out of a Sergio Leone Western, where you see him in the ship, and then he has that duel and just knocks out Hunter right away. Especially, I mentioned 2 minutes ago how I hate Hunter. When I saw that, the music, close up, the fact that it was Cad Bane returning, he killed Hunter. Oh yeah, I was like, okay, this show has me again. And then goes back to being total crap.
But I mean, that episode where he's fighting, and he's having the duel with Fennec Shan, and they're fighting. It was pretty cool. I gotta say, I really like that, because I remember the Clone Wars finale when Ahsoka and Darth Maul were fighting each other on those ships, and she keeps jumping off, and there's Rex. The issue with that was it was a great episode, but there weren't really any stakes with these characters, because we knew they survived from Rebels. But this, we don't know if this guy survived, and he's a pretty beloved character. So you're kind of oh crap.
Also,
could this be the end?
Why don't do a spin-off on Cad Bane? Why not?
Do an origin.
He's such a great character. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's one of those characters where he's better.
That only works.
See as much of him.
I
don't know. I love him so much. I'd rather see him than more Omega.
And
then just a quick thing before we move on. Some good news for What If as well. At least from what I've heard from those who have got kind of the press screenings for the later episodes. I have heard that episode 2 of What If is very good. And so there are other episodes. I think there are some individuals that got access to 3 episodes. And I've heard from them that it gets better. This one was weak, but I've heard that some of the other episodes are better. So just some good news.
That's good.
Marvel fans out there. So now we're going to get on to the big stories of the week. We're going to kind of go over our thoughts on the latest big stuff happening in the world of movies. So latest thing that was just announced, Shang-Chi is going to be released in only theaters no Disney Plus release, exclusively in theaters. It's going to actually, I mean, it's going to debut 45 days after the theatrical release. That's basically, I mean, nobody's going to see Shang-Chi 45 days after its theatrical release.
Bob Chapek pulls his head up from a hole and says, "I'm safe. I'm safe."
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's. I honestly think this is a good decision because they were totally screwing up movie theaters, them and Warner Brothers. And I think it's the right thing to do. I think personally that maybe they should delay this film a little bit because I've seen some box office predictions and they're not that great. And I think if you want to keep these films up, I think you really have to be patient and you have to, to me, I feel that it's great to have more content, but I think they need, I mean, it's good if it's there then and it's a success, which I think it could be. But this film is one that I'm pretty excited for because it's an MCU film. I just, I think it's a good decision that they made it theatrical and not Disney Plus because that was a terrible idea for Black Widow. We saw what happened with that,
And also something to keep in mind: the fact that it's releasing in theaters shows that actually some good news that Disney believes in this film. Like the same thing for Free Guy. Free Guy debuted just in theaters, and that's because Disney actually believed in the film. So maybe Shang-Chi is really good. I haven't liked the trailers for Shang-Chi. Tony Leung looks pretty cool in it. That's about it. Simon Liu just kind of looks kind of lame. There's one line in the trailer too. There's one line where Simon Liu tells his dad, he's like, "You're just a criminal who murders people." And I'm like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, what the hell? What is that?" Whatever. But yes, that's some good news.
Abomination looks cool though.
Yeah, he'll be in the movie for 2 minutes. Watch.
That's gonna be the greatest 10 minutes of the film. It's like a character not many people gave a shit about, but now he's like, I'm in Shang-Chi 10 years later, and I got the Loch Ness Monster ears, so you're gonna like me now. And so, I do.
And then also, I mean, this episode right now is called subtitled "The Hypocrisy of Disney." The reason I called it that was because this movie is debuting exclusively in theaters, right?
Yes.
What was Disney's response, Guy, when ScarJo hit them with a lawsuit? What was their excuse for why her lawsuit was bullshit?
She obviously didn't care much about the pandemic.
Oh, okay. But Disney is going to allow this movie to debut only in theaters despite the Delta variant. So this is why this episode I mean, what?
They've let go a bunch of employees too.
Yeah.
During the pandemic.
Nobody's going to call out Disney on their shit. That's why we're here to do that. Especially like general audiences love Disney. They're widely kind of loved within the public sphere because of the the kind of
the
content that's like universally beloved. I'm sorry. I just find this whole thing great. Shang-Chi, that it's being debuted in theaters, great. But it's just hypocritical on their part because of the ScarJo lawsuit. I feel like Disney can just get away with stuff like this because, again, like we said, they're highly beloved. But anyways.
I think it's wrong. I mean, it's very irritating because you have someone like Scarlett Johansson who's been there for like 10 years and who's been doing these movies for 10 years and using up a lot of her time for it. And she finally wants her cut. Robert Downey Jr. got his cut. I'm pretty sure a few other actors also got their cut at box office. And then they totally just screw her over. And it's not fair. And I think it's really sad to me. And it's also very sad to me that I guess their ties have been completely severed. Disney, I guess, is not doing that Tower of Terror movie, which I wasn't going to watch. But I still feel bad. I mean,
I don't even know what that is. And then just quickly, what Jack said, Disney is like Nintendo, good content, but terrible PR and execution. I will say, unlike Warner Brothers has bad content and bad PR and execution. So it could be worse, my friend. It
It
could
be
be
much
worse. Let's get to the next story, Suicide Squad box office.
Oh.
So we're going to specifically talk about the second week. I'm just going to read an article real quick. Actually, I'll share it on my screen because that would be easier, because this article is pretty brutal.
Oh, God.
So this is coming
It's a good movie, guys.
From Forbes. So Suicide Squad dropped 81% on Friday. Let me repeat that. 81%. It earned $2 million. $2 million. Contextually, Batman vs. Superman dropped 81.6%. X-Men Dark Phoenix, you know, the movie that everyone crapped on. I didn't hate it, but everyone else did. Dropped 83%. Guy, your thoughts on the latest, even probably worse news than what we heard last week about their box office numbers.
This is sad, because this is a great movie. This is like my new favorite superhero movie of all time. And I blame Warner Brothers for this. They had to put it on their little HBO Max streaming service, which they're putting everything on. It's obnoxious. And
you watched it on HBO Max, by the way.
I did watch it on. You know what? Hey, look. Let me just say, I was not allowed to leave to the theater.
No. I rewatched on HBO Max. And the thing is, like, I got out of the movie theater, and then you texted me right away. You're like, I'm watching the Suicide Squad. I'm like, how's this possible? It's like 9 p.m. at night.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't even wait till like 3 a.m. in the morning like they do, like Disney Plus does. Like,
no, they were shameless. They were shameless.
They did it like immediately.
They just did it. They did it before. I think they put it on HBO Max before it was in theaters.
Crazy.
Like a few hours.
I know.
And I didn't realize this until I was talking to my cousin. And he was like, hey, I'm almost done with Suicide Squad. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's 5 in the evening. And he's like, yeah, it's really good. And I'm just like, what? I'm like, that's earlier than most theaters would like let it out. And it blew my mind how, like, you know, how badly it's like they wanted to kill this movie because it's sad because this is a really good film. This is not your standard, like, crappy superhero. I mean, they're not all crappy, but there's this formulaicness to a lot of them. And this one was really unique and had a lot of heart and was really special. Yeah. And it really makes me very sad that they compromised this film because, in my opinion, it's James Gunn's best superhero film. And I feel it deserves a lot more recognition than it's getting. Also, the promotion was terrible. The marketing for this film was terrible.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing. I felt like Free Guy did a lot better of a job because because, you know, they'll have like Free Guy will have like just the full trailer on like ads, and you'll just sit and watch it. And this one had like, you know, those 5-second spots where you're like, what is going on in this movie? And it's like very confusing. But like Free Guy did and there's other stuff too with promotion, but Free Guy did a great job. Meanwhile, this film was horrendous, and I mean, I haven't seen a lot of ads for the Suicide Squad either.
And I think it's mostly HBO Max. However, maybe it's that combination of the fact that the last Suicide Squad wasn't well received. Maybe general audiences were just a bit confused by like
that could be it too.
Making this, like, why?
Yeah, that could be it too. But to anyone who hasn't seen it that is watching this, which most likely you have if you're watching this channel. Yeah. Just go watch it again, even because it's a great movie. It's really good.
I agree. So let's move on to the next topic. We'll get through this one. Cruella 2 was just announced in the wake of the Black Widow Scarlet Johansson lawsuit. There were rumors that Emma Stone was considering. This seems like kind of like an Italian mob thing where someone's like considering, you know, like, I don't know, going over to another gang, and then they're like hushed. They're given hush money, something like that. So, what do you think of this?
Hey, I think hopefully that's a theatrical exclusive. Like, that's all. Like, hopefully she should really hope for that, because Scarlett Johansson got totally screwed, and I think didn't she with Cruella 1? Like, didn't she? Or am I wrong about that? Because remind me, was the first Cruella? Because this was recent. Was that also theater and Disney Plus, or
Yes.
was that
Yeah.
okay?
Both.
Well, that still, like, I mean, if she had the box office,
it was $30 on Disney Plus. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
true.
yeah, still both. And then so next topic we'll get to quickly as well. Some more kind of positive news. Brendan Fraser, everybody. We're in the middle of a Brendan Fraser renaissance. Yes, well-deserved clap. Brendan Fraser, for those who don't know, he was just announced for the cast of Killers of the Flower Moon, directed by Martin Scorsese, also starring Robert De Niro, Leo DiCaprio, Jesse Plemons. He was also going to be in the new Darren Aronofsky film, The Whale. And I haven't seen Doom Patrol. You love Doom Patrol. So he was in a viral TikTok. This is just an image of what the TikTok looked like.
Oh.
I mean, how can you not love that face?
So
Brendan, So what are your I love Brendan Fraser. What are your thoughts on this Brendan Fraser renaissance?
I think he deserves it. I remember when Doom Patrol came out, he wasn't in a lot anymore. But like, he was in the show. And he's great. He is a fantastic actor. He deserves all the praise he's getting. I've seen him in a few other films. But this is something that he's deserved this comeback, because he was kind of kicked out in a really unfair way. He didn't have his fair shake, and he's finally getting it. So I'm really happy for him. And I loved how, like, he was grateful. Like, you could tell he's so, like, a lot, you see a lot of actors and they're like, fuck my fans. But like, this guy was like, thank you. It was just really nice to see.
Yes, Jack, that's how we're all feeling at the moment. So I love The Mummy. I think that's a great movie. I just love the guy. He's gone through a lot of personal struggles, and he's kind of disappeared over the last couple of years, but I'm so glad he's kind of making a comeback. See the video. I implore everyone. It's just so heartwarming. Yeah. So, and then our last big topic we're going to talk about, Venom 2 has moved its release date from September 24th to October 15th, I believe. I'm terrible at math.
The world is screaming. The world is so angry that Venom 2 is being delayed for 3 weeks.
The travesty.
No one gives a shit about Venom 2.
Just contextually again, it's moving to October 15th. No Time to Die is releasing on the 8th. Halloween Kills releasing also on the 15th. Last Duel on the 15th. Dune on the 22nd. And French Dispatch on the 22nd. Is this movie going... Do you see any of these other movies I just mentioned moving their release dates back? Do you see Venom 2 succeeding at the box office? What do you think?
I think this is going to be a win for the non-blockbuster film, and I think it's going to be a great day for people who don't like blockbusters. Because quite frankly, I do not have any faith in this. Look, I like Andy Serkis, but I do not have faith in your movie. I'm sorry. I've just seen the trailers. They haven't gone well with me, and it's also like, I've never been a Venom fan, even as a younger kid, because a lot of kids, love Venom. But I was always like Dr. Octopus and Green Goblin, But like that was my preference. But I'm sure I'm not going to enjoy this movie. I'm sure I'm not going to enjoy Morbius. No, it's just like I don't have any faith in this movie. Sorry, what do you think?
I actually like the first Venom. I think it's a good movie, actually. I'm one of the only people who likes it. But it's weird because the first Venom made a ton of money. I think it made over 800 million. And it's weird.
And it got horrible reviews. It got terrible reviews.
Yeah, and it's one of those movies where I just don't understand how it made so much money, because it was bad. It was terribly received. I wasn't hearing that much buzz about it.
Tom Hardy wasn't really playing Al Capone that time, so
It was weird because I wasn't hearing anything about it, but it got a ton of money. But I'm not. The second one, the trailers have looked terrible.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, in this, I have a feeling some of these other releases, they're going to be moved back. No Time to Die. I'm hoping it stays.
That movie, I still remember when he hosted SNL, and he's like, "It's just going to be gone for a little bit because of the pandemic." And then like 2
Dune
years
on the 22nd.
later.
Dune is getting moved back, I think.
Okay, that's good.
So maybe everything moves back except for Venom 2. It's kind of like one of those things where
they're like, we're still here, everybody.
It's kind of
We're
like
so-
It's kind of like there's this game I played in school called Sharks and Minnows. And it's
Yeah,
basically like this. There's a minnow, and the minnow's job is to basically get tag the sharks, and the shark's job is to run to the other side of the field and reach the end, and then you're safe.
Yeah.
I don't know if those watching I don't know if you've heard, but that's the name of the game. And so whenever I started playing this game, we would always wait, like all the sharks would always wait, and when the person says go, we would always wait for that one person who starts running. And when that one person goes, we all start going, because nobody wants to be the first person who starts running, because that's the person that the shark person, like the guy who tags them, that's the person like that the shark is going to go after, right? And so yeah, Jack, I messed up. The shark is the person who tags the people. The minnows are the other people. Okay, I haven't played this game in a while, but that's what this is looking like. All the movies that are releasing in this span, they're waiting for that one movie to be like, okay, we're moving, and then once that one movie moves, the rest of them are going to move. So it's kind of like who's going to make the first move. Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, so those are going to be the big news stories.
But when Venom 2 comes out, watch Suicide Squad instead.
Yes,
it's going to be infinitely better no matter what. I don't care.
But for those watching, make sure to comment down below. What are you looking forward to? Venom 2? Are you not looking forward to it? Are you looking forward to it? Like me? No, I'm not.
Yeah.
But all right, so those are going to be our big stories. Now, let's get to our last segment, buy or sell.
Yes.
What's going to happen here? We're just going to get to some of the smaller news topics that have come out over the past 1 to 2 weeks. We're going to talk about them. We're going to say if we're going to buy that news or we're going to sell that news. And then this is going to be our last segment, and then we're going to end the show. So we're going to go through these quickly. Guy, recent news, Idris Elba cast as Knuckles in Sonic 2. Are you buying or selling this news?
Sell.
I'm
interested.
actually buying it. I'm buying it. I'm buying it. I like Idris Elba. I really like Idris Elba.
No, I love him.
No,
I like Sonic.
I like the first Sonic. I actually really liked it. I really liked it. I thought that Jim Carrey, the fact that he's coming back, Idris Elba is now entering the cast. I have not high hopes. I have pretty good hopes. Pretty good hope.
Yeah.
Next piece of news: John Lithgow cast in Killers of the Flower Moon. Buy or sell?
Buy.
Yeah, for sure. But I love John Lithgow. So
buy. I mean, come on.
Hotel Transylvania 4 goes straight to streaming.
So it doesn't have Adam. Come on, what? Adam Sandler's not even in the movie. It's not even the same guy.
Nobody this is the first I've heard it. I forgot it was coming out. I
haven't even seen the third one. I've seen the first two. The first one. I never saw the third one. I like the first two, but I just when they go on vacation, the franchise screwed. That's all.
Yeah. Let's get to the next piece of news. Aquaman 2 news. Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who obviously plays Black Manta, said the sequel script is better than the first film. Buy or sell?
I buy that as a truth, and I'll buy it too. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Here's the thing: Aquaman 1 style-wise was pretty cool. That was a cool-looking movie, but the plot is not that great.
I'm gonna sell this. I think the script is gonna be atrocious. We'll see. Clancy Brown cast in John Wick 2. For those who don't know, this is Clancy Brown. He's obviously
Lex Luthor.
He's a character actor. Yeah, he's a big voice actor. He actually he voiced Mr. Krabs in SpongeBob, among others. But he's the
best Lex Luthor there is.
The guard in Shawshank Redemption. Buy or sell?
Yeah, buy. He's great.
I love Clancy Brown. Yeah. Next piece of news: Captain Marvel 2. Brie Larson.
Who gives a shit? Who cares? The first one.
Brie Larson said, "Quote." Gosh, so much is going on. A lot of really juicy things happening that I cannot say a word about. Buy or sell?
I'm sorry. I can't. I don't know. I mean, a lot of things happening. I mean, here's the thing. I'm going back on something. I'm selling Aquaman 2 because it's the same thing as this, where it's exciting. And then you're like, and it's just terrible. So I'm selling that news.
I believe the movie's called The Marvels, right? Or is it called? Is that
The Marvels, I think. Because it's like, you got Miss Marvel, you got the Captain Marvel, you got the WandaVision Marvel, you got all the Marvels in the Marvel movie. All right, let's.
Have you seen the Between Two Ferns segment where Zach Galifianakis is like, so your character is called Captain Marvel? They've just stopped trying, haven't they?
Yeah. Yes,
Why don't they just call you Captain Comic Book? Okay, let's get to the next news. J.K. Simmons cast in Batgirl. By herself.
Oh, this is. I've only heard that this film, like, I've heard things about this movie where I'm kind of. Here's the thing. I'd love to see a Batgirl movie, but at the same time, it's only going to be an HBO Max exclusive. I think you should go bold and go with the That's just my opinion. Theatrical release, but. J.K. Simmons, because I love J.K. Simmons, and I think he's a terrific actor, character actor, and he's fantastic in almost everything he's in. And he carried Spider-Man 3 for the 5 minutes he was in it.
And then the reason I'm going to sell this is because we already have Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon.
That's true, and he is better.
And he looks to be great in that movie. Yeah, so although I love J.K. Simmons, I can only handle so much Commissioner Gordon. Speaking of which, GCPD. Shout out for all the Gotham fans out there. I heard Ben McKenzie say the word GCPD.
Every time I hear that, I think whenever I hear GCPD, like in anything now, or any kind of cop, like something PD, I'm like, Gotham, and it flips back, and it's like, da na 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 na, and just like, you're like, what?
Yeah, I'm kind of like commissioning Commissioner Gordon out. But anyways, so Margot Robbie joins Wes Anderson's new film. The rest of the cast includes Tom Hanks, Adrian Brody, Tilda Swinton. Bye. Let's move on.
We all know. We all are excited for that film. So.
And then last piece of news: the Moon Knight leak. Let me just pull up a picture.
Are you sure? Are you sure we won't get?
Let me also just say one thing. This was brought to us by a source called Marvel Hub.
Yeah.
Even in the tweet, the person said sources are still a bit iffy. Stand by.
Well, here's the thing.
It's not like
I have a feeling this is real. Because I've heard that just people have been their stuff on Twitter whenever they post that photo has been taken down. So I have a feeling that it could be real. I will buy that. I like the look of that suit. I've kind of gone through some changes. Look, does it look like he's covered in toilet paper? Yes, but it also looks like Moon Knight, and you don't get many of these kinds of suits in the MCU. And also here's the thing. This, at this kind of shade and angle, it doesn't look like the best suit, but I have a feeling that it'll look a lot better when it moves. So for anyone who's judging it, wait for it to move. Although it does. Yeah, go on.
Also, I told you before. I said this looks like a better Taskmaster suit than the actual Taskmaster suit from Black Widow. I think I actually really dig it. Again, not 100% confirmed. The source is a bit iffy, so let's not get too kind of hyped about it or not hyped about it. This is all not confirmed yet. So that's gonna do it for the small stories. The small news stories are by. Oh, are you gonna buy one thing? Moon Knight, you're gonna buy or sell it?
I'll buy it. I think it's interesting. It's more interesting than a lot of juicy things happening that I can't talk about. Or Aquaman 2 is better than Aquaman 1. It's a bit better than that.
Things happening here. If it's real, definitely buy it. I think it's a great suit, honestly. But that's if it's real. So that's gonna do it for the show today. Before we end it, Spider-Man Far From.
Oh yeah, our little.
What's it called again? I was gonna say Far From.
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Stupid. Why did I forget about the name?
Homeworld.
No Way Home. Did I see a trailer pop up today, Guy?
No.
Did you see any trailer?
No.
No. Oof.
I saw one of those fake ones. Release the damn trailer. We care more about that than Venom 2. Come on. We care more about that than more. I bet. Here's what I think. I think that if you just released the Spider-Man No Way Home as a trailer, just as a theatrical release in general.
Oh, I was
and
about to
that's
say
your
it.
movie.
For Venom 2. For Venom. For Venom. For Venom.
Just
They
give
play
it-
it for Venom to make people go and see the movie. What
Yeah,
an idea.
But
Okay,
even
Sony.
not even with the movie. Just putting the trailer in a theater alone. You can only see it in the movie theater. I bet it would make $1 billion fucking dollars. And would make way more than Venom and Morbius combined. I think it will. I think it'll break Endgame. Like, I think it'll go that high.
I feel like if they put it before Venom 2, I feel like people are gonna go for the trailer. Then after the trailer's over, they're gonna leave the movie and be like, okay, trailer done.
I might do that if it because like I'm sorry, they're not gonna be in the No Way Home.
Or what if they play the trailer after the movie?
That's a dick move. Here's what I'll do. I'll go in the back. I'll go in the back. I'll most likely play on my phone. I'll look up if there's anything cool. And then I'll look back down. And then when the movie's over and I see the trailer, I'm like, that's it. That'd be my Venom Let There Be Carnage experience. I don't have any confidence in that movie. It looks like a bunch of CGI crap on a screen. I'm sorry I'm going off on this. Andy Serkis, I'm so sorry. I love you to his claw, but you didn't have to die. But I really adamantly feel like I hate this movie already, and I'm so sorry, my friend, because I actually really like you, but I just I can't like. I mean, who knows? It could be great. It could be like amazing, but I have no belief it will be. So that's my opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect to talk so much about Venom 2, but like Brie Larson said, a lot of juicy things
are happening.
You never know. Okay, so that's gonna do it for our first segment of Guy and Helmer Unfiltered. Guy, before we leave, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on my Instagram, G David Knoll, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going, and I'm opening a new film account. So yeah, that's where you'll find me. Yes, when it comes once it's there. Yes.
Let's not hope this is like a New Mutant situation where your account. Let's get this started right away, guys.
Yeah, I'll get it started quick. Don't worry. I will.
A lot of juicy things are happening. A lot of juicy things are happening. And Aquaman 2 is apparently better than Aquaman 1. Who'd have thought? What a shocker. And then you can find me, of course, on the League of Cinephiles on Instagram, same name as the channel. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment. What do you think of Venom 2? What do you think of Aquaman 2? What do you think of Captain Marvel 2? We want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to do that. Thank you for everyone who joined in live. Again, we'll be back next Sunday or the week after. We'll see. And then in terms of upcoming shows that are going to be brought to you by the League of Cinephiles, we have our first fan cast match coming up in the next couple of days. Guy is actually one of the competitors in that, so you'll see him again very soon. We also have a one-on-one trivia match between Ren Geekness of Cinephiles in Paradise against Business Ben of Gone with the Wind. Make sure to look out for that as well. Thank you for watching. Ciao, everybody.